Chelsea fans, are you ready for some electrifying news? Rumors are swirling that our beloved Blues could be on the verge of signing the Premier League's most talked-about striker. With our recent struggles in front of goal, could this be the missing piece in our quest for the title? Stick around as we dive into the details of this potential game-changing move. And hey, if you want to stay in the loop with all the latest Chelsea updates, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. Chelsea fans, let's dive right into the latest buzz surrounding our beloved Blues. Enzo Maresca has been doing an outstanding job since taking the reins, and there's been a lot of chatter about Chelsea possibly being in the title race. However, the reality is that our recent form has been a bit concerning. Just 2 points from the last 12 available, with draws against Everton and Crystal Palace, plus losses to Fulham and Ipswich Town, has certainly raised eyebrows. We've only managed to score 2 goals in those 4 matches, and it seems teams are figuring out how to frustrate us by sitting deeper in a low block. This brings us to a pressing question. Do we need another striker to support Nicholas Jackson? The hunt for a new forward is on, and the name on everyone's lips is Alexander Isak from Newcastle. Reports suggest that Atletico Madrid is now in the mix for his signature, which could complicate things for us. But let's talk about the price tag, 100 million. That's a hefty sum, especially considering he's already made 21 appearances this season, scoring 14 goals and providing 4 assists. His consistency is astonishing, and Jamie Carragher has even called him the best striker in the Premier League right now. That's high praise for a player who has proven time and again he can find the back of the net. Now, when we compare Isak to Jackson, the stats tell quite the story. Isak has a goal rate of 0.77 per 90 minutes, while Jackson sits at 0.59. Both players are dynamic in their own right, but Isak seems to edge out Jackson in most metrics. He's got a higher volume of shots, more key passes, and he's just more dominant in the box. Being 6'4" gives Isak that added advantage in aerial duels, which is something we could certainly use. Imagine having both of them on the pitch, battling it out for the top striker position. Wouldn't that be something? But here's the catch. Keeping both players happy with enough playing time could be a challenge. They share a similar style, and it's always a delicate balance in managing egos and expectations. Personally, I'm torn. On one hand, adding a player of Isak's caliber could elevate our title chances dramatically. On the other, I worry about the harmony within the squad. Now let's not overlook Jackson's progress. He's been impressive. This season as well, with 9 goals and 3 assists in 20 appearances. You've got to admire how he links up play and contributes beyond just scoring. Maresca has praised him for his development and overall game, which is fantastic to see. But again, is he enough to lead our front line against the top teams in the league? It's a valid concern. So, Chelsea fans, what do you think? Is signing Isak the right move for us, or should we stick with Jackson and give him the chance to shine? I'm genuinely interested in hearing your thoughts on this. Do you believe adding more competition in the squad is the way to go? Or do we risk disrupting the current chemistry? And remember, the season is still young, and we have time to figure things out. Let's keep the faith in Maresca and the boys. But that doesn't mean we can't have a healthy debate about our options moving forward. Let's dive right into the latest news surrounding our beloved club. We've been keeping an eye on the midfield situation, and it's becoming increasingly clear that we need a solid solution, especially with the ongoing challenges surrounding our 60 million signing, Romeo Lavia. After a season that was nearly a total write-off, we were hopeful that he'd be back and ready to make an impact. But as we all know too well, the injury woes have continued, and here we are again, discussing whether we can trust him to stay fit. It's been over 18 months of constant issues with Lavia, and while I'm not ready to label him a permacroc just yet, we have to start thinking strategically about our midfield depth. Enzo Fernandez and Moises Caicedo have been carrying a heavy load, playing game after game with minimal rest. The squad was built with the expectation that Lavia would be a key contributor, so the lack of depth in that area is really starting to show. I can't help but feel we missed a trick by loaning out players like Leslie Ugochukwu and Andre Santos. Imagine having them available right now. Wouldn't they be valuable assets, especially when you consider that we're relying heavily on a couple of players who are starting to feel the strain? It's a tough spot, and I can't shake the feeling that we need some fresh legs in there. Looking at our younger talent, we've got some names like Cesare Casadei, Carney Chukwuemeka, and Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, but the truth is, none of them seem ready to step up as a deep-lying midfielder in the Premier League just yet. It's a demanding position, And while Josh Akayampong has shown promise stepping up from the youth ranks, we simply don't have an equivalent talent in midfield who's ready to make that leap. It's frustrating, isn't it? Now, there's talk about Sam Raksaki, who's made some appearances in the Conference League. He's got potential, no doubt, but does he feel like a player we can rely on in the league right now? I'm not so sure. Maybe a strong showing against Morecambe in the FA Cup could change that narrative. But until then, we're left hoping Lavia can find a way to stay fit. How does this affect our chances moving forward? Well, it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, we're seeing great performances from our current midfield duo, but we can't ignore the toll it could take if they keep playing without rest. The Premier League is relentless, and we need a plan B. If Lavia goes down again, who steps in? It's a question that needs answering sooner rather than later. And I want to hear from you, Chelsea fans. Do you believe the club is making the right decisions regarding our midfield? I, for one, am feeling torn about whether we should look into the transfer market for a temporary solution or trust in the youth to step up. Your opinions matter, so let's get the discussion going in the comments. What are your expectations and frustrations regarding our current situation? As we look to the future, it's crucial to understand that our ambitions hinge on having a strong and reliable midfield. We need to be proactive, or we risk falling behind in a league that's only getting tougher. So, let's rally together and voice our concerns. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay updated on all things Chelsea, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with fellow fans, and subscribe to the channel. You won't want to miss any of the essential updates as we navigate this season. And make sure to activate that notification bell so you're the first to know when we drop new content. Let's keep the conversation alive, and as always, up the Chelsea.